Good day, little Vray minions. Today we shall be looking into adding glow to our objects, I guess. Now, there's a few different things you have to realize right up from the start. If you go into rendering and you go into environment, into effects, you'll be having a few options here that you can actually do. So if you go add and you look at the lens effects in here and you add a glow there, that will only work if you have a scanline rendering technique, and it's not going to work on V-Ray or Mental Ray either, simply because both of these are using 32-bit rendering capability, whereas the scanline is only using 16-bit, which is compatible with this specific technique. So don't use this one because it's probably not going to be working. Another option is you can actually go in and under here you can find the V-Ray lens effects. You can turn these on and you can try to muck around with this, but it's not going to give you any result because this is not actually being used anymore by V-Ray, and they forgot to actually remove this add-on. So just delete that one, and we'll be using this same technique, the V-Ray lens, but we'll be using that in the V-Ray frame buffer. Okay, so with that said, we have to realize that there's two different ways to add the actual glow to the light itself. So let's say we have a light there, and to an object. To add a light to an object, you could either go and create yourself a nice little object or mesh of any shape and size, of course. And then if you go into our material editor there, we can add a new V-Ray light material. Increase the intensity to something decent, like 50. Who doesn't like 50? 50 there, and then just assign that to that object there. And now the only thing left to do is to render. So if you are rendering, it's going to take a few seconds to do so. Um, if you're rendering, you will see that there's nothing being done, there's nothing different in the image. So it's going to appear exactly the same as you are doing your rendering. So the thing is, to actually activate the lens effects options, you have to go and navigate into this option here, which is the open lens effect settings, the last one here. And of course, if you click on the bloom effect, you will actually be getting the glow. Uh, you can change the shape in a more precise or more sort of blurry shape, or you can go to the size as well. The size here refers to the percentage of the actual rendering resolution, and the weight is the best way to describe it is the intensity. So that's 0, that's 100% intensity, and then you can sort of muck around with all these little second settings to actually get exactly what you want. The glare effect will allow you to add the actual glare effects basically. Yeah. And that can be used to your advantage or not, just depending on what you want to do. There's a lot of options here you can sort of muck around with, but most likely you probably want to do this in Photoshop because you'll have a greater amount of control. But yeah, either way, use both or just use one, makes no difference. And when you're happy, go and save your image. There we go.